Good morning, all. Welcome back. After a short break from our lectures, we have already studied stretching techniques for upper extremity shoulder joint, including stretching to increase flexion, hyperextension, abduction, adduction, rotations, and horizontal adduction. From this lecture onwards, we will be studying stretching techniques for elbow and forearm joints. We know that when we are stretching the elbow flexors and extensors, the muscles such as biceps and brachioradialis also cause forearm supination and pronation actions. So, when we want to stretch them, only elbow extension or flexion will not be sufficient to stretch them to full length. So, we have to perform the movement with forearm pronation as well as with the forearm supination. First, to increase elbow flexion, we need to stretch elbow joint extensors. To stretch one joint elbow extensors, the hand placement and procedure is as follows. We have to grasp the distal forearm just proximal to the wrist. The patient's arm is supported on the table. We have to stabilize the proximal humerus. We will just do flexion of patient's elbow beyond the point of tissue resistance so that the elbow extensors are lengthened or stretched. Now if we want to stretch long head of triceps, as we all know, long head of triceps crosses shoulder as well as elbow joint. We need to include shoulder flexion so that the triceps long head is stretched fully. The patient is in sitting or lying position, arm at the edge of the table. The shoulder is flexed to maximum range available and maintenance of shoulder flexion is done. Hold the arm in shoulder flexion while the distal forearm is grasped and elbow flexion is done to the maximum possible limit. Now if we want to increase elbow extension by stretching the elbow flexors, the patient lies in supine lying position with a pad just below the lower arm so that it is aligned properly. The scapula is stabilized with the support of plinth and anterior aspect of the proximal humerus is stabilized by one hand of the therapist. The distal forearm is grasped by the therapist's second hand. Elbow extension is carried out just past the point of tissue resistance to lengthen the elbow flexors. Now as we have discussed previously, we have to perform this movement in supination, in pronation and in mid-prone or neutral position so that all three elbow flexors are stretched to maximum. Biceps, brachialis and brachioradialis, all three have to be stretched individually by including movement of forearm. To increase elbow extension with the shoulder in extended position, we can stretch long head of the biceps. As we know, again, same as triceps, biceps long head crosses shoulder joint as well as elbow joint and causes shoulder flexion. So if we want to stretch biceps long head, then we have to perform shoulder hyperextension along with the elbow extension. Here the patient will be in lying supine position at the edge of the table. The anterior aspect of shoulder is stabilized, or if patient is in prone position, we have to stabilize the scapula manually. Then we pronate the forearm because biceps is primarily elbow flexor in supinated forearm position. So we will reverse the action, then we will extend the elbow, and then in last we will extend the shoulder. Now whenever we are performing all these techniques around elbow joint, we have to keep in mind that vigorous forcible passive stretching of elbow flexors may increase risk of heterotropic ossification after any kind of traumatic or burns injuries. Heterotropic bone formation is formation of ectopic bone in the soft tissues around the joint. So that may further complicate the situation rather than improving the condition of patient. So we have to keep in mind that we are not here to worsen the condition, we want to improve the condition, and that is why passive or assisted stretching must be applied very gently. If possible, it should be avoided at all, and as an option we can use active stretching such as agonist contraction in place of these passive or assisted stretching techniques. These are images showing self-stretching techniques. First in supine and standing for biceps brachii. Here we can see that in both the images the forearm is pronated, elbow is extended, and shoulder is slightly hyperextended. The shoulder is stabilized in image 1 by patient himself using another hand, whereas in image B the patient holds edge of bed or table or plinth and moves forward so that the arm is stretched, elbow is in extension, shoulder hyperextension, and forearm in pronation. Second image is self stretching of triceps. Here the shoulder is in flexion along with the elbow in flexion and forearm in supination. So all the heads of triceps are stretched. Now moving to the forearm supination and pronation. To increase supination and pronation of forearm, the hand placement will be the patient is sitting in and humerus is supported on the table and elbow is flexed to 90 degrees. The humerus is stabilized by the therapist, and if we want to increase supination, we will just do supination beyond the range of tissue resistance. If we want to increase pronation, we will do pronation of the forearm beyond the point of tissue resistance. Now here we have to keep in mind that while pronating or supinating the arm, we have to just rotate the radius around the ulna, and we don't want to twist the hand so that the wrist joint is stressed. Now this was with elbow flexed. Same procedure is repeated with elbow extended. Again keeping in mind to avoid stress over wrist as well as avoid prevention or avoid internal and external rotation at the shoulder joint.